Hi, my name is Lorena Lopez, and we're here at Education 2.0 conference. I have the honor of, interviewing this beautiful queen. Now, please introduce yourself and tell us who you're representing today.
Hi, my name is Dr. Laura Villaflor, and I am the founder and owner of two organizations. This is something I'm recently doing. I used to be a principal and a just K through 12 educator for 20 years. And so now I have moved into the private world and I own my nonprofit, Education Alliances, which is dedicated to finding all students, um, some sort of higher education institution. We're very much dedicated to social justice and ensuring that every single student goes to some form. And so the nonprofit is really dedicated to providing those services for free. Because literally, if you were to go right now and Google free SAT, ACT classes for students that have economically disadvantaged, you will not find them. You literally do not find them. And so, why do we live in a world where money determines whether you get to go to an SAT, ACT prep class, which is kind of standard now? And so we provide these types of services for free. And then I have a business, Breakthrough Potential, and it's dedicated solely to that college process because it is so complicated now. But I have to say that my passion is my nonprofit. I love working with kids that don't have the same opportunities that, for example, that I had when I grew up. So that's what I do.
That's really beautiful. Wow. So you're an Education 2.0 Conference USA honoree. So how did it feel to receive recognition for your accomplishments?
You know, I say that I'm an educator. I'm not a business person. I just decided that um, this was something I had to do because it's like an itch I can't scratch. I see the problem and I have a solution. And so I decided to move into this area. And there's a lot of ups and downs. There's highs, there's lows. It requires a lot of thick skin that mostly I really don't have because I'm just not a business person. And so when someone stops and says, hey, you're doing a good job. Like what you're doing is worth it and it's worthy and it's a great idea. Just having that moment in time has been very helpful for me and inspiring and saying, okay, Laura, on those down days, just keep going because what you're doing, it really is making a difference. So that's what this was for me. It really was just a game changer for my heart, my soul, and for the energy and motivation to keep moving.
Wow. What a great motivational tool. What advice would you give to someone wanting to follow your footsteps?
Oh my goodness. My footsteps, it's a dance. Let me just say that first of all. It's not been a nice, clear path. It was a clear path. And the first thing I would say is that take a risk. If you have the opportunity to take the risk, to take it. I was on a very stable path. I left a very stable job paying six digits and we were very financially stable. And my husband, I came home one day and said, I'm not supposed to be a principal. And he said, okay, what do you want to do? What do you need to do? And so having the courage to do it, but knowing what it is that you're passionate about and why you're doing it. Because like I said, if you're going to go and develop your own company or something like that, you have to know why. Because on those down days, you need to be able to go back to and say, okay, Laura, this is why you're doing this. It's not because of this company or what that person said about you. This is why you're doing it. And so making sure you know your why, knowing it's not easy. Don't ever do something because you think it's going to be easier because it never is. And the biggest lesson that I learned that I didn't know that I wish I had known before I developed my own company was that it doesn't matter how great your product is, you have to be able to market your product as well as the value of your product. So marketing is a whole other world and it's very challenging. And so that would be the piece of advice or tidbit that I wish someone had told me that, you've got to learn to market just as much as despite how great your service or your product may be.
I love how supportive your husband was of your decision. That is
he
so
he has
beautiful.
been incredible. I mean, here he is. I mean,
Yeah.
look at him. He's just kind of walking around, but here he is, and he really believes in what I do. Um, you know, he's been amazing from step one. So yeah.
That is
He's a
awesome.
keeper.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. So, how has your learning and networking experience been so far at Education 2.0 Conference USA?
I can tell you that the most important part of what I've been doing in my job is the networking piece, meeting other people who are able to work with you, and being able to find that those like-minded individuals is energizing. It's absolutely energizing. And there are so many people here that I've spoken with that really see the same things. They have the same visions and they understand the same problems. And so the ability to meet other people and say, okay, hey, let's work together and collaborate on this, it's just that's an opportunity that you can't pass up anywhere. I mean, it's just been so great, and I can tell you from my nonprofit, it is those types of partnerships that are creating the difference. You know, I've partnered with Pearson, and I'm able to offer college credit at very low costs, I have partnered with Workforce Solutions, and so now we find kids internships in high school, and it's earn and learn, so they actually get paid for doing their jobs. And I've partnered with South Florida University, and now they have a professional training program, and their kids or their students take courses, and also corporate, their employees take courses. But now my kids, any client that I have that go through me, can take their courses. And so it's like, and all it is a phone call and someone to say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want my kids to take your program. Will you let me? Yes. And it's been amazing. And so that kind of networking and that kind of partnership has been critical to building my business and my nonprofit. And so, like, for me, like I said, my passion, that nonprofit is, I can get your kid, I can help your kid figure out what they want to do in their life as a career. Then I'm going to help them get an internship and get paid for it. I'm going to help them find the right classes and extracurricular activities. And then I'm going to find the right higher education institution, whether it be college or technical school, or maybe you just need to get a certificate. That's what you need to do. And this is the kind of money that you're going to make. And that kind of partnership and networking and finding people that can make that happen it's amazing. It's been amazing.
Setting them up for success.
Yes, setting them up for
Definitely.
success.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Now, this is a key question. So, why do you do the work that you do?
It's really, the story actually begins when I was an assistant principal and I met a young man. His name is Rodney. And he was a student in my class. And I just found out this morning that he's here in Vegas today.
What?
Yes, he's here. And so he's my why. And I've got a beautiful story. If you've ever seen the movie Blind Side, I
Yes.
swear we are the blind side for basketball. Well, he played football too, but I'm telling you, our story is that beautiful. But he is my why. I wake up every single day and do what I do because of him, because he taught me about institutional and systemic discrimination when he was 15 years old. He was 15 years old, I know. And here he is talking to me, and I'm his 28-year-old assistant principal, and he was in trouble. But we built this really great relationship, and we had a really in-depth conversations, and he shared with me about how he experienced the discrimination that he did in school. And I was just, my mind was blown. And this is what we did. He took me out into the hallway during passing period. He said, let me show you what it looks like. So he opened my eyes to it, and he just pointed out, he said, look right there. And I just, for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, I could not believe I had never seen what he had just shown me. And it was everywhere. It was everywhere. And I thought, these kids are literally missing out on opportunities just because they don't look like them. And that just blew my mind. And so, wanting to be a part of the solution and rather than that problem, I went to graduate school. I earned my doctorate in studying the perceptions, I guess the unconscious biases that people have and the impact it has on our academic achievement. And then I learned about our economy today and how the workforce is changing, and people don't even realize now, when you think of technical school, you kind of think of, the monkey and the hammer kind of idea. But that's not what it is anymore.
Yeah.
And so when I started to understand the gaps that skill-based education can really fill, especially now with the pandemic, and we're seeing all these learning losses, this can truly be a solution that fills in the gaps for kids that aren't interested in college. And you know what? Here I am today, and I have a doctorate, and I can tell you I was not a college-bound student, or I should never have been a college-bound student. there are opportunities out there. And so I do what I do to show kids like Rodney that there's more pathways in this world than this one pathway that everyone seems to
Mhm.
feel that this is the only one that should be taken. So that's why I do what I do. And I just wanted my boy Rodney, who's here today in Vegas. I'm going to go find him tonight. We're going to go have dinner and have a really good, a great evening. But he's why I do what I do.
Wow, what a great story. Thank you so much for sharing. You obviously are very passionate of what you do.
I
We're so honored to have you,
thank
and
you.
we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.